Hi, the question I'd like to deal with this week is why we need a land. We know that Judaism is heavily connected to the land of Israel. More than any other religion, I think, is connected to any other land. In Jewish tradition, we have 613 commandments. Of those 613 commandments, more than 50% are only obligatory upon the Jewish people when the Jews are in the land of Israel. In addition, the Jewish calendar is completely modelled upon the land of Israel, the seasons of the land of Israel, the appearance of the moon over the land of Israel. The calendar can only function, Maimonides says, if there are Jews, at least one Jew, in the land of Israel. The direction of prayer for Jews all around the world faces the land of Israel. In Israel, face Jerusalem. In Jerusalem, we face the Western Wall. At the Western Wall, we face the Holy of Holies. But Jews all around the world face Jerusalem. Interestingly, we mention Israel in our prayers 50 times a day as a conservative estimate. Every time we have wheat, rye, barley, spelt, or oats, bread or cakes or biscuits made of any of those things, every time we have olives, dates, figs, pomegranates, grapes, wine, etc., we actually say special blessings, grace after meals, and in that we pray for the land of Israel, we pray for the city of Jerusalem, we mention the city of Jerusalem. It's impossible for a Jew who is observant of any part of Jewish tradition to go through the day without thinking about Israel or Jerusalem. We are obsessed with it. Jews throughout the centuries, when they are buried, they have some soil of the land of Israel, if they're buried outside of Israel, a soil of the land of Israel placed in the coffin. We have a period of 3 weeks of mourning, public mourning. We don't have weddings. We don't shave. There are 9 days we don't launder the clothing. There's a certain period we don't eat meat during the week. We don't drink wine. We have a fast day in which a number of fast days in which we mourn for the destruction of the temple, for the dispersion of the Jewish people, the diaspora, the exile, etc. We sit and cry on the ground on the 9th of Av. It's an amazing attachment. And miraculously, after 2,000 years of exile, from 70 CE, when the Romans exiled us, and 500 years or so, little less than 500 years beforehand, when the Babylonians exiled us, Jews have returned to the land of Israel, rebuilt a country. It's an amazing thing. So the question is, why do we need a country? There are plenty of religions. In fact, most religions are not tied to a specific country. Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, yes, Muslims pray in the direction of Mecca, but there's no mitzvah, so to speak, that is specifically obligatory in Saudi Arabia. There's no obligation for a Muslim to move to Saudi Arabia. Christians consider the land of Israel holy, but there's no mitzvah, commandment of aliyah, going to Israel. There's no mitzvah of visiting Israel. It's a holy land, yes. So the Jews, why? And there are a number of possible answers to this. Rabbi Levi in the Kuzari, he maintains that the reason for this is because Judaism is not only about, it's not a religion, it's really building a culture, building a society, building a civilization, but a civilization which is based on divine ideas, a civilization which is based on monotheism, in which the rhythms of agriculture flow according to the commandments of the Torah regarding agriculture, in which the government is run according to the precepts of the Torah regarding morality, government, the monarchy, combat morality, and so on and so forth. He says, you could live a religious life anywhere, but he says building a society, building a civilization based on monotheism, based on the Torah, based on its principles, that requires a land. That's not enough to just be somewhere else and not have that focus on the land. That is the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Halevi. Others say, Samson of Hirsch, and others say, because Judaism is more, and similar to Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, Judaism is more than a religion. It's supposed to permeate every aspect of life. So therefore the Jews were originally created with 12 tribes, each one with different capacities, different talents, different focuses, and he says the Jews are not meant to be a nation of just scholars, but we're supposed to be a nation of scholars and scientists and business people and engineers and gourmets and scribes and artists and soldiers and every pursuit in life. The land of Israel is meant to be a place, a showplace, to see that Judaism, that monotheism, that ethics can permeate every aspect of life, both individually and on a national level as well. It's supposed to be a beacon of light to the rest of the world. So Judaism is tied into the land of Israel. Yes, it has survived for thousands of years without being in the land of Israel, but nevertheless the focus has been on return to Israel and on thinking about the land of Israel. And those are two of the reasons. Because, as we said, we're supposed to be building an entire civilization, not living in another civilization and keeping our religion, but Judaism is about building a civilization, building something, a society. And secondly, to show that religion, that Judaism, that monotheism can permeate every single aspect of life, everything from agriculture to the military, everything from politics to business. And the way to do that is by actually building this culture and society in the land of Israel. I would mention one further idea, also mentioned in Rabbi Levi, which is the land of Israel was given certain spiritual capacities by God, i.e. that it's a place where you can feel the presence of God, perceive the presence of God more than any other place in the world. What we call Shekhinah, the divine presence, rests in the land of Israel. Of course, God is everywhere, all places, all times, but not everywhere can you perceive God equally. The land of Israel is like a window into another dimension. You can feel God's providence, you can feel God's presence more than anywhere else in the world. So those are three ideas behind the focus on the land of Israel. Maybe another time, and maybe next week, we'll talk about our claim to the land of Israel and why that is valid and so central as well. Thank you very much.